Okay, honeys, let's get into this beautiful custom color that I did. And this is a ginger color, and this unit is made by me. It's 26-inch lace closure unit. So I have been requested to show you guys how I add my elastic band into my unit. So I said, why not do it with this custom wig, because this is a closure unit. So if you would like to see how I add my elastic band into my closure units in detail, then definitely stay tuned. Guys, yes, I know I'm looking like somebody's grandma right now, but today I'm going to be doing a quick video showing you how I attach the elastic band into my custom units. And this unit is going to be a lace closure unit, 4x4 lace closure unit. So I'm going to be showing you how I attach it. Now I don't know if I want to show how I attach it by hand or if I want to show how I do it on the sewing machine. So that's what I'm like deciding on which one I'm going to do, but stay tuned to find out which one I decide. So this is the closure unit that I'm going to be attaching the elastic band to, and this is 26 inches. So yeah, guys, let's get on to this video. And if you're wondering, yes, the unit is wet. I like to apply my elastic to the unit while it's wet, because before I set everything, I want to have the elastic band inside the unit, and then I usually set everything, mold the wig and everything on the mannequin head. So that's the reason why it's still wet. So once I attach the elastic band, then I'm gonna put it back on the mannequin head and then mold everything as far as baby hair, if it needs a middle part, side part, whatever. It makes it easier for me. And sorry for the noise in the background. My daughter is watching her show, so you're gonna hear that in the background. Sorry, I do have kids. All right, see y'all later. Okay, so this is the elastic band that I like to use. It fits more comfortable behind on the nape of your neck. So this is a 1.5-inch elastic band, and I purchased this from Amazon, so you can definitely purchase that as well. I will put a link below that you can use to purchase the same exact elastic band. And it's very stretchy, and it's just really, really comfortable on the nape of your neck. You don't want your wig to be too tight, as it will cause a headache, which you do not want. So I like to measure it and from ear to ear, and then once I measure it, then I cut about 1 inch less than what I measured, because remember, it stretches. So when you bring it around, you want to stretch it, and then when it goes to its natural state, then you cut 1 inch less. So I'm going to show you how I do that. Okay, so I'm going to take the elastic band and bring it behind the nape of my head, and I'm going to measure right here, and then bring the other side and measure it right here. And this is a comfortable position for me, and I wear a medium-sized cap, so I tend to do this for clients that have a medium-sized cap, so it's about the same, like a 22, 23. And this is where it measures right here. So I have my measuring tape, and I'm gonna measure where I measured from ear to ear. So it's measuring right here, so you want to bring the measuring tape, and that is about 9 inches that it measures. So this would be the same amount that I would use every time for a medium-sized cap. So if you wear a medium-sized cap, you're about a 22, 23. So this is what I will measure every time when I get a client that has a medium-size cap, as far as they wear a medium in lace wigs, custom wigs, or whatever. So this will be the measurement, 9 inches. You guys can see that, and then I will cut it, but not exactly as 9 inches. So I would move it up a little bit more, and I would cut about approximately 9.5 to 10 inches, so it will fit comfortably, so it won't be too tight. So I would cut about 9.5 to maybe 10 inches. So I hope that makes sense. And that only goes for lace frontal wigs. So it will be totally different measurement for a closure unit. So the measurements I just showed you was for a lace frontal. So 9.5 to 10 inches for a medium cap. Now, if I'm doing a closure unit, I can also use a measuring tape as well as for accurate measurements. So closure units usually run you from temple to temple. So temple to temple will be about where your eyebrows hit right here. So that will be about like 4x4 lace closure. So I would measure right here, and that is a 19 inch from temple to temple, 19 inches. So I would measure the elastic band at 19 inches. And this is about how much elastic band I would need, but then I would go down 1 inch so that it will be a snug fit but not too tight. So that would be at 18 inches. So I would cut it at 18 inches exactly so it wouldn't be so tight. So this is where I measured at 19 inches, but I would cut at 18 inches so that it will be a nice snug fit and it won't be too tight around my head. And that only goes for closure units. Now it all depends on the sizes because, as you know, closures come in 4x4, 6x6, 7x7, and I think they have a larger size than that. I'm not sure, but I haven't come across it. It just has been up from 4x4, 6x6, and 7x7. And they have like the mini frontal ones too. So it all depends on what size of the closure or what size of the frontal. So it's best to send in your measurements for your circumference of your head, so then I could have an accurate measurement for when I apply the elastic band inside the wig. So it's best when you do send in your measurements so then I have an accurate measurement for you. But for this person, it is a small head and it is 22 inches circumference. So it would be about 18 inches for this client for temple to temple. Because if it was, this is about 18 inches, so it's 22. So this is how much it would be like extra if it was wrapped around. This is the circumference when you wrap the measuring tape around your head. So basically like this. So where is the 22? So you want to find where the 22 is. And this is where the 22 is. So the client that I'm doing this wig for is 22. So this will have to hit right here at 22. So that's how I know that the frontal, her temple to temple, the measurement for the elastic will be at 18. So I'm going to cut 18, like 17 and a half of this so that it will be accurate measurement, so it won't be too tight. So stay tuned for that. I'm hoping I'm not confusing you guys because it's kind of hard to explain everything. I'm better at showing. So cutting it about 17 inches, and I placed it on my head, and this is temple to temple, and it sits very comfortably. But you want it to have a more snug fit, so I'm gonna cut off maybe about an inch more so that it will be just, you know, perfect, the snug fit, because remember this stretches, but you don't want to be too tight. So I'm gonna cut off an inch more so that it will sit really snug. I'm gonna measure it up again. So measure it up again, and I'm gonna cut right here, exactly right here, right here. So it will be 16 and a half now. So I'm still holding it where I measured this 16 and a half, and I hope you guys can see that. And I'm taking the scissors, and this is so awkward, but I slid it right here so that I know that it's 16 and a half. Hope you guys can see that. Sorry guys if y'all can't. But I'm gonna snip it right there, and then I'm gonna show y'all. So 16 and a half right here. Snipped it right there, and then I'm just gonna cut across. Okay, so I'm gonna measure it again, and see, this is where it's reaching 16 and a half now. Hope you guys can see that. So what I like to do to help this not fray, as you can see, like the hairs, it's sticking up right there. You want to burn the end so it does not fray. And your elastic lasts much longer if you do this. So you get a little lighter. And you just burn the ends. And that's what I do to help it not fray, and it has a more neater finish, and it lasts much longer. So these are the threads that you can use. You can use either polyester, cotton thread, or you can use a nylon thread. I like to use the nylon thread because it has a more cleaner look and a more neater look. And sometimes I like to use this as well. My only thing with the nylon thread, it's very slippery, so it has to get, you have to get used to using this type of thread. But I've been always using cotton thread forever, for like years, so I prefer to use the cotton. But if you want to have a smaller, cleaner, nicer look, then you would go with the nylon thread. And the needles I like to use are curved needles. They're easier for me. They also have straight needles as well, but I prefer the curved ones. So I put a tape here because it's very easy to unravel since the thread is very slippery. So I usually put tape there to keep it in place. So I'm gonna take a very short length because you don't really need too much because you're just sewing on the elastic. So I take about this length, or about this length, and then I just cut it. And I'm just using regular shears. I got this from Amazon as well. So you could place the elastic band on the cap if you like, but I like to place it onto the closure so that it's pulling the closure flat once you apply it onto your head. So this is how I place it, and you want to make sure that it's behind where the hairline of the frontal starts. As you can see, this is where the baby hair is, and this is the beginning of the hairline, so you want to go behind that. So you can push the hair back, so as you can see that line of demarcation, you want to go behind that. So you want to go about here, and then begin sewing. This is just the cap right here. Put it on now. Just trying to get a good middle part in the unit, so that's why I put on the cap, because I don't want it to be touching my head. Sort of like a barrier. And just want to get a good middle part, so this is where the closure starts right here, and this is definitely too small for my head because this is a small, but I want to make sure that it is symmetrical as far as being in the middle. So that's the only reason I put it on, so I can make sure that the part is straight and it's not crooked. Let's get this out. Hey. Looks is dry, but this is a color. It's a ginger orange, and it's 26 inches. And this is 3 bundles and a closure. This is what the customer ordered. Me, I would prefer my units a little thicker, but hey, it is wet, so it's not showing you the fullness and potential of it, but it looks okay.